Nuclear-powered aircraft. Why don't we have them yet? The shortest answer is that it's not practical. Nuclear power has obvious benefits for submarines and aircraft carriers, allowing them to operate for longer ranges and periods without refueling compared to diesel-powered ones. However, nuclear power isn't as perfect as you might think. Nuclear bombs are powerful, but nuclear energy itself is not. A nuclear power plant is essentially a thermal power plant where heat from nuclear fission of uranium or plutonium isotopes is used to heat water, generating steam that turns turbines to produce electricity. Nuclear power isn't perfect, but it's a great choice when you need a stable, long-lasting energy source. For example, nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers can operate for years without refueling. And nuclear fuel cells can power spacecraft like Voyager 1 and 2 for decades. Diesel-powered submarines need to surface regularly to replenish their oxygen supply, which compromises their stealth and makes them noisier, while nuclear-powered submarines are much quieter and can stay submerged for extended periods. Voyager 1 and 2 are small spacecraft that only need power for their electronics, not for propulsion, so they can use small nuclear batteries. Submarines, aircraft carriers, and airplanes need much more power, so they would require much larger reactors. A nuclear reactor large enough to power a commercial airliner would need a lot of lead shielding to protect from radiation. Lead is very heavy. For example, the S-6G reactor on the U.S. Navy's Los Angeles-class submarines has an output of 165 megawatts. Its reactor compartment is 10 meters in diameter, 12.8 meters long, and weighs about 1,680 tons. That's more than 4.4 times the maximum takeoff weight of the C-5M Super Galaxy, one of the world's largest military transport aircraft. Weight is not a big deal for submarines, but it is critical for airplanes. The weight of a nuclear reactor would make a commercial airliner unable to take off or carry any cargo. Moreover, we don't really need nuclear-powered airplanes to fly farther. Modern commercial airliners, like the Airbus A380, have a range of 15,700 kilometers, 9,750 miles. What about military aircraft? In the past, the US and the Soviet Union were interested in nuclear-powered bombers. The plan was to have a fleet of bombers constantly patrolling the Arctic, ready to launch nuclear strikes at any moment. This seemed like a good idea because these bombers wouldn't need to refuel and could stay airborne for days, using multiple crews to rotate. This would allow for a quick response and protect some nuclear weapons from preemptive strikes. In the 1950s, General Electric and Pratt & Whitney, two major U.S. aerospace manufacturers, designed and successfully tested molten salt nuclear reactors and several nuclear jet engine prototypes under projects starting in 1946. However, the Air Force eventually canceled the program due to its impracticality. By the late 1950s, surface-to-air missiles like the Soviet S-75 Dvina and the U.S. Nike Hercules could reach altitudes of 25 or even 30 kilometers, posing a threat to any bomber before it could drop its bombs or retreat. And, indeed, a Lockheed U-2 of the U.S. Air Force was shot down by an S-75 SAM over the Soviet Union. With the development of increasingly sophisticated intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads, the US and the Soviet Union could launch missiles anywhere in the world in 30 minutes, making bombers that could loiter for days or months obsolete. In short, nuclear power and airplanes are a difficult combination. A nuclear reactor powerful enough to power an airplane would be very large and heavy, compromising the airplane's performance. Additionally, airplanes today have longer ranges, making nuclear-powered airplanes unnecessary. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please like and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss any other interesting videos. And now goodbye and see you next time.